One of the real challenges for the city manager is that working relationship with the city council. It's really a unique partnership because you've got a series of a boss relationship, and yet you're working with an organization, and you've got to blend that balance. And it really requires a pretty unique opportunity to work, get to know, because they're really committed with trying to do what's best for their community, but you don't want them involved in the day-to-day operations, so you've got to build trust and respect on your ability to do that. I think local government plays an incredibly important role in the state's economic development and recovery. If you think about a foundation with building blocks, local government's that basic block. All economic activity is local to some point, and our communities are where the old proverbial, the rubber hits the pavement, so to speak. So I think it's really fundamental. One of the things I like the most about being a city manager is the variety. No day's the same. You start with a framework of what you're going to do, but the variety of aspects of the work, in the trenches, field work, to planning, public policy, lobbying, working, and long-range visioning. It's just, for me, there's a fascinating variety, and I think that's what makes it interesting every day, every year. The ethical obligations of a city manager are pretty strong because the community is looking to ensure that the organization's well-run, that it's run in accordance with state laws and guidelines. And as a city manager, you've got to make sure that the employees in the organization are following them, you're following them, and remind the council of what their obligations are, because trust is really important. And I think we're seeing unfortunately, the end byproduct of a lack of trust. And when local government officials, whether elected or appointed, are showing a lack of integrity, that's really a lack of respect for the public we serve. Financing remains one of the biggest challenges facing cities today. Both financing for day-to-day operations, and then more importantly, the financing necessary for our infrastructure replacement. Many cities up and down the state have streets, sidewalks, water, wastewater systems that we need to replace and update, and we've got to come up with a financing plan to pay for those. In our community, we're looking at a long-range financial plan and having candid discussions about what type of rate structure is necessary to pay for those types of services, and who and why. And I think education is a real key component there. In my history, there's really been a fun project in Yountville. When I started, the community was really interested in building a brand new community center so that they could sort of have a front porch and an activity center for their community and take new services. But they were a little divided on what size, the type of project. So it's been really exciting to bridge that gap, come up with a final plan, develop the financing, and actually get that thing built. And now we're up and operational, and it's bringing the community together. So that's one I take a lot of pride in.
CCMF ensures that leaders are in place for strong, stable, and vibrant communities. Muni Services shares these core values and is therefore a proud sponsor of CCMF.